What are you watching for in the latest twists and turns of Brexit?
Oh, well, I think the main thing that markets are looking for is whether this actually does impact the Premiership of Theresa May. That perhaps from a government stability point of view is essential to any market, any currency, to any stock index. And the second point is, of course, if we clear this hurdle, what happens afterwards? There's a new summit up ahead, but it seems like people are talking more about October as sort of the final deadline before there's a new final deadline comes down. That seems to be kicked down the road at every single juncture. But overall, it seems the market consensus is for some kind of agreement to be reached. No one's interests to see a hard Brexit. No one wants to see any form of disruption, and that is the base case. But there'll still be twists and turns along the way.
Interesting to see the reaction function in UK assets then to all of those twists and turns as you spell out. A separate question for you then, Jeff, and this is coming off a report that the Labour Party in the UK has commissioned. They've done some work with Graham Turner at GFC Economics, and he's come up with this idea that the Bank of England could target UK productivity as well as having an inflation target. The Labour Party has long talked about adding new targets to the Bank of England's remit. Is a productivity target something you would look at with interest? Is it something that can work for a central bank?
Well, I could see central bank economists pushing back against this for two reasons, and one is if you set a productivity target, you're borderline starting to target growth itself, right? Because, trend growth, you've got productivity, you've got demographics. These are the two main components. So demographics, you can't ask the central bank to target that for now.
There's little talk.
Yeah, so then if it's just productivity and then a natural demographic rate, then are you really targeting growth by stealth? That's the first point. Secondly, even if they wanted to, then sure, there are a lot of things that they could prescribe, but then say, OK, we can do this, but out of the 10 things we've listed, probably 7.5 of them should be government policy, right? It should be either fiscal adjustments or should be incentivization. So again, that's where, do you really want us as unelected bureaucrats, as often claimed, to be doing this? I think that's where some pushback might happen.